Now, again, we're only taking a couple-minute clip of Glenn Beck and analyzing. This is a guy who said that Al-Qaeda had snuck nukes in 2007, right before the election. This is a guy who is clearly a psyop. He has more open CIA officers on than any other show. They are there manipulating you. And he hasn't even gotten to the part yet. He already said this is why Obama's in danger. Then he says that 9/11 truth is going to kill him. I mean, talk about a demonization. People that question 9/11, incredibly diverse group all over the world. The number 2 guy in the Japanese government, all these other world leaders, the former German defense minister, all these engineers, all these people. We're violent. We're bad. We're going to go after Obama. Total false flag in the making. Let's continue.
Of radicals that bombed the Pentagon. When he was in the newspaper, the New York Times, it was on September 11th, he said this, quote, "I don't regret setting bombs. I feel we didn't do enough." Paul Watson, I talked about him a couple of days ago. He said this, quote, he's that whale activist. "There's nothing wrong with being a terrorist as long as you win. Then you write the history."
Stop. Bill Ayers, Patty Hearst, it's all been declassified. They were working for the government. They were funded. They were protected. They were allowed to blind police officers, bomb the Pentagon, all of this as a pretext to build up the COINTELPRO spying network on the American people. It's on record. Why do you think these people, most of them didn't go to prison? Why do you think Bill Clinton commuted a bunch of their sentences? Again, these are high-powered, big money-funded groups. The Rockefeller Foundation and others all fund the left and the right. Just like they've been caught in Denver and in areas of Canada like Ottawa with paid government operatives dressed up like anarchists attacking crowds of people. And the media says, wow, incredible police restraint. This just happened yesterday in Canada. And then it turns out they're cops. So you see a day or two of people breaking trash cans, hitting cops. The cops are told to stand down. And then a couple days later, they attack the peaceful crowds. People said, well, they had it coming. And then people are scared to go out and demonstrate because there's always these anarchists there who we've proven are government operatives. This is on record. These are rent-a-mobs funded by the big foundations. Again, let's continue.
Got it? Andy Stern, SEIU president, leading White House visitor. Workers of the world unite. It's not just a slogan anymore. Give me some of these pictures. Let me ask you this question. Are you like any of these people? Are you like William Ayers? We don't regret setting off any bombs?
And pause again.
Like you?
Back it up a few seconds. See, and like a child, are you like these people? No, you don't want to be like this guy setting off bombs. And then he connects it to 9/11 truth here in a moment. See, the message is you're a terrorist. And then he has this left-right paradigm on the chalkboard, the left over here, the right over here. He says America is right of center. No, in that false paradigm, we're way, liberals don't, the grassroots are now pro-Second Amendment. Grassroots, the numbers have shifted, they're anti-abortion. Grassroots, so-called mainline liberals don't like the big banks under Bush or under Obama. See, he always says it's about getting outside the left-right paradigm, using my term I coined, but then every time he shows a graphic, it's a left-right paradigm. And then he puts all these radicals over on the side of Obama's administration. Most of them are out there on the fringes, foundation funded. He doesn't mention all the big Israeli operatives and British operatives and globalist operatives that are in the White House who say arrest anyone who has these views. No. He gives you the left-right paradigm. Here it is.
Question. Are you like any of these people? Are you like William Ayers? We don't regret setting off any bombs? Are these people like you? Are they like our founders? We're normally in the center. We're actually a country that is center-right, okay? We don't like the extreme right. We don't like the extreme left. We're about here.
Hit pause.
Okay?
Are you like the terrorist or are you like our founders? Well, wait a minute. Our founders talked about government staging fake crises. Our founders said don't get involved in foreign entanglements. Don't let foreign governments come in and take your government over. We've had global corporations come in that are bigger than most governments and take over. Our founders, Glenn, would have supported Ron Paul, not you, who were for the banker takeover bailout, that you go on to blame on the communists. And certainly they're part of it, and they want things to collapse. But so do the Republicans, and they all worked in tandem, seamless integration between Clinton, Bush, Obama. But, oh, no, the Republicans are going to save you. Again, back to his fake left-right paradigm.
Where would I put a guy who bombed the Pentagon? Here? Who doesn't regret and says he didn't do enough? How about Andy Stern? Workers of the world unite. Is he here? He's on the extreme left. Ron Bloom, this is a guy who said, we kind of agree with Chairman Mao that political power largely comes from the barrel of a gun. Do you believe that? I don't largely believe it. I don't kind of believe it. I don't believe it. I think he's over here. Anita Dunn, one of her favorite political philosophers is Mao. How about the guy?
Yes, and one of David Rockefeller, one of his, and he's on record helping fund News Corps and Clear Channel, on record, so he can control the opposition. The best way to control is to lead it. He wrote in 1976, he wrote multiple editorials, but one in 76, praising Mao as one of his favorite philosophers. Called him a philosopher. Our government kicked Chiang Kai-shek out. That's now been declassified. Our government helped put Lenin in. And then when Stalin got out of control, he was certainly really bad, and kicked out the Trotskyites. They came over here, and William Kristol's father founded the neoconservative movement that you work for. I mean, you want to talk about communists in the White House, Bush had a lot more, but they're not communist. They use that as a banner to take over societies. Let's continue.
Now these are just people, these people are in and around the White House. This guy isn't, but this is where Obama launched his campaign, at this man's house. For 20 years. He sat in this man's church. This man says the government gives people drugs and then wants us to sing God Bless America. No, no, no.
Hit pause.
You know the rest of that.
The government gives us drugs. See, and they also have the controlled left, like Reverend Wright, come out and say the government created HIV. That's declassified, but never give any evidence. And the government ships the drugs in. Well, I mean, they had a congressional hearings, and the CIA Inspector General in 1996 admitted they ship in the majority of the narcotics. Oh, but see now, if you don't trust the government, and you know the government shipping drugs in, as Ron Paul exposed in that speech a month ago, and Ron Paul said we've had a CIA coup, and they're shipping the drugs in, oh, you're with Reverend Wright. See, I'm not a left-winger or a right-winger. If something's the truth, I talk about it. And I talk about how big government's the tool of control, whether it's from the fake right or the fake left. But see, Glenn Beck makes it all a left-wing thing to think the government deals drugs or the government's engaged in population reduction, so that the right wing watching this won't fully wake up. And the left in Newsweek and Time comes out and attacks the right wing and says, oh, look, it's a right-wing thing to believe the UN wants to reduce your numbers and to believe the government's dealing drugs. See, when Bush is in office, it's a left-wing thing to talk about FEMA camps. When Obama is in office, it's a right-wing thing. No, it's the truth. But as long as they can divide you into two groups to fight, they win. And everything Beck does is that. So he knows you're waking up to this, so he comes in and says, I'm against the left-right paradigm. Now here's a graphic of the left-right paradigm. Continue.
He says it's in the Bible. That's what happens to countries for killing innocent people. So he's surrounded.
Oh, wait a minute,
radicals.
wait a minute. Reverend Wright says that the Arabs attacked us because we were oppressing them. That's what the big foundation-funded Ward Churchill says. See, 9/11 Truth never said that. We know it was staged. We know radical Muslims are funded to overthrow mainline regimes in the Middle East and Central Asia. See? Most of these people he puts up here prop up, like Noam Chomsky and Howard Zinn, the official line that 9/11 was not an inside job. The left, the controlled left, has been the biggest attacker of 9/11 Truth. It's all fraud. When you know the truth, everything Lynn Beck says is a twisted distortion, a spin, or an outright lie. Continue with this liar.
surrounded by radicals. Here's why the republic is in danger. And the president is in danger first, then the republic.
Back it up. Hit pause, back it up 10 seconds. Here's why the republic's in danger. Not that big offshore banks that openly want worldwide eugenics and world government are in control. Not that they've stolen 28+ trillion and counting in the last year and a half. Not that it's bipartisan. Not that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase own both parties. Not that Northcom is setting up all these FEMA camps. Not that they're launching all these wars based on lies. Not that troops are suddenly running checkpoints all over the country with any excuse they get.